What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. I am making my way through the Chaos 8 Mastery Mode, and this time we are in the Throne Room. Checking it out here, we've got to survive all waves, build no anti-air, have no defenses sold or destroyed, and build no auras. So this one we're going to be focusing mainly on the Petrify combo, using some Earth Shatter Towers and some Proton Beams. We're going to throw in some Reflect Beams just for a little core protection. And then we're going to use Buff Beams on our towers. Mainly, you guessed it, we're bringing along some Archers. So let's go ahead and build things out, and let's see, what do we want to do? Well, this area, we have this lovely kind of double area where we can just kind of spam up the archers. If we take a look over, the archer range is not incredible, but it's not terrible either. And I'm going to kind of go too wide on these archers and see if we can't get, let's go 6 of them here. I think 6 of them will be quite a bit of pain. Just naturally, the archer split between the two sides is already being handled. So we should be in really good shape. Now, we do want to throw down a buff beam here. Let's see if we can't get a buff beam, say, right there. Get those archers all jacked. And then we're going to want a proton beam as well, because I am double dipping on my proton beam and getting destructive pylon on it also. So we've got these buffed with the buff beam and the destructive pylon. On this side of the map, we're actually not going to worry about any crowd control. Now, for this one here, we don't have to worry about losing a sub-objective if we lose one of these window controls. But on the same note, I really don't want to. So I'm going to protect these on both sides from any potential throwers, and we're going to go something like that. And that should handle any thrown projectiles from the top lane, and then this bottom lane down here. Going to do the exact same thing over on this side, and then let's see what we have left. So let's drop a reflect beam, say like this, and that side should be protected also. And now we've got a nice bit of DU left. We've got what, 730? Yeah, 730 DU left, so we're able to do some really nice work here. We do have an area here where we're really able to double dip a little bit, but I do want to get that Petrify going. So why don't we do something like this? We'll get a Earth Shatter Tower, something like that. Another Earth Shatter Tower just like that. And then we're going to throw a few archers along the way here just to give us a little bit of upfront damage. Now here, the split, I'm trying to aim kind of right at that wall piece in between the two entrances. That way, ideally, I'm going to be getting the most out of these archers that I can. So let's do that. Aim something like that. Let's go with 3 of them. Just right there. Now, we're going to want to go ahead and buff this stuff up as well. So let's get a big old buff beam going right across this back area. And then, once again, let's get everything buffed up with a little proton beam here in the back for that destructive pylon. Now, I do want to get the poison on enemies as well. So we're just going to poison enemies right up front. I'm going to go with a proton beam just straight across each one of the entrances, just to get that poison applied as soon as the enemies come out. Now, back here, the enemies are actually going to be outside of archer range. So it is going to give me a little bit of a turtle. Hoping, of course, that the enemies aren't petrified too bad until slightly in front of that proton. Now we're going to come down here below. In this area, we can't really split it quite as well, but we can do okay. How do we want to do this one? I'm kind of tempted just to go straight with Earth Shatters and Proton Beams here and not worry about any archers on these lanes at all. And the Earth Shatters hit so hard. Although a buff beam, of course, is just going to make them even better, it's not quite required. Let's go something like that. And then like that, maybe? It's a little bit sketch there. We've got 120 left, and that's going to allow us to really double up on these proton beams. So I think on this area, we're just going to stall them and allow the Earth Shatters just to get the pain dished out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do the same thing up here. And where do we want to put it here? I think here we will go kind of right at the corner. This one's going to be really, really wide, as I just want to make sure any of those berserkers that come out aren't going to be an issue. That's actually all I've got here. Wondering if I want to do these a little differently. I can't sell, though, so I'm actually kind of stuck with it. So let's just go ahead and go with what we've got. We've got 100 left. Since it's a little bit sketch over in this area, I'm going to put upgrades on those two Earth Shatters. So let's go ahead and let it fly and see how it holds out. I think these archers are going to just devastate this side of the map. And we're going to have to keep an eye out. I think it's going to be all about the north entrances. We're going to have to see how well this does. Now, as you see, the Earth Shatters do hit inside of the spawn, which is kind of crazy OP, particularly on this map, as there are some long spawn lanes that the enemies come through. So the Earth Shatters are going to be able to get the damage in right up front there. And those archers are more of a last resort for anything that decides to push around. It's actually going really well there. It's actually looking pretty solid over here, too. I mean, everything is just getting nuked. 6 archers is just going to blast through everything out there. That is for sure. Yeah, looking actually really, really solid. I think it's going to come down to the bosses on this one. We're going to have to see how that goes. I think for upgrades, I'm going to focus on upgrading, well, I really want to get these archers upgraded a bit. That way I can kind of ignore this side of the map. Even with the 6 archers there, anything shy of maybe a siege roller is just going to get destroyed. Or a Drakenlord, of course. I'll have to add a little bit of attention in there. I'm concerned about these lanes here. There's no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and upgrade all of these again. So the 2 that are facing up into the high lane will be up to tier 3. The others will be at tier 2. But let's get some upgrades in there to get a little bit more power. We got 600 left, and I think it's only natural just to dump it right here. So let's just go ahead and dump it into this. And then we don't have enough to do all the archers here, or actually we do. Let's go ahead and get all of these archers upgraded as well. And we got enough for one more double up. So let's see how that holds. Of course, any boss besides a Drakenlord or a Siege Roller is going to get devastated on those south lanes. The 6 archers is just a whole lot of power. So that's going to just rip through literally anything there. But I am going to need to focus these. As I mentioned, losing a sub-objective is not going to be the end of the world on this one, but I really don't want to. I don't want to have to deal with flyers, and you get the benefit of not having to deal with flyers on this map, and it makes the map go so much smoother. So let's see how we are doing. Looking good so far. Everything, looking at the mini-map, it looks like everything is just getting pegged really fast. Now these lanes over here, see, we have some berserkers that are getting a little heavy on the push here, and I've got no last resort. So that's a little rough. I think I'm going to have to focus upgrades on these 2 lanes. Not having anything other than the Earth Shatters. You know, the Earth Shatters hit like a truck. But not having anything but Earth Shatters, those berserkers can get a little bit uppity if you're not too careful. So, let's see. Let's get this Slakelion burned out fast, too, because I'm going to have to deal with it for a few more waves. Now, things are going super smooth, so I think we'll go ahead and jump on forward to wave number 5 and get this one closed down. I'm going to switch my focus now, since I saw those berserkers coming through, and get these 2 Earth Shatters that are faced up to that top lane. I want to get these all jacked up, so let's just get those upgraded all the way. And then now, of course, we know we've got the Slakelion here to deal with every wave. But let's jump on forward to wave 5 and get our 5 stars here. And here we go into wave number 5. Pretty smooth sailing so far. We got a Siege Roller out of that top lane last time, which actually posed less of a threat than I expected it to. Of course, it took a little while to get out, as there's such a long path for the enemies to walk down here on this particular lane. So it did take quite some time to get the siege roller out, but let's see. Where do we want to prioritize our last set of upgrades? I think we're going to put it on this area right here. Let's just get these archers jacked a little bit more. Dump all of our mana right here into this stuff, and should be pretty good. Now, of course, we still got that Slakelion over here. I've got Crane Stance already maxed up, so we can just go ahead and mash that guy real quick and get the Slakelion out of the way. Now, just kind of focus on the bosses, so staying down in here in this lane, as I still am a little concerned about this side over here without having the archers in. But those Earthshatters seem to be doing really well. I've been using this area for killing assassins and making sure that the assassins are stripped. And it's doing fairly well also. So it's going to be all about the bosses. Now, last wave I got some assassins and the siege rollers at the same time. And I did die, but of course death is not really an issue on this particular map. We got a captain here, but I think the captain is going to get devastated by those archers down here. Let's see here. I'm going to have to use Sparkle Party for this one. Yeah, we'll just get that one off real quick. And looking pretty good. So what do we got going here? Oops. Let that assassin get the better of me. I thought they were all done, but apparently not. But anyway, death is not one of the deals on this one. We see that is why we put our reflect beams in on the cores right there. As, you know, hex throwers throwing from random lanes over to other objectives on other lanes is all part of life in Dungeon Defenders 2, sadly. But we know about it, so we can build around it without any problems. Malthius is just about dead. We need to put the final smackdown on Tusker here. Tuskar is gone as well. And then just 2 enemies left. So looking like we got our 5-star win. Got another daily completed. Getting pretty lucky on finishing those out. And let's get those 5 stars. Now, this one, of course, awarded the Juggernaut Hyper Shard, which you can also get from doing just the Prime Incursions. So I've already got one. This is actually a second one, so that's not a huge win for me on that one. But it does mark the almost halfway point. We've got one more map to do, and we should be halfway through Mastery Mode. But anyway, that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time with some more Dungeon Defenders 2. Take it easy.